What's up, guys and girls, and welcome to a very special first look at Rend. So if you're not aware of this game, then join the club, because I wasn't aware of this until my good friend Sour actually pointed it out to me. But this is a game which is in very, very early access testing. In fact, it's not even released on Steam yet. I was lucky enough to get a code to it by buying one. But if you're interested in this, one of the things the developers have asked on their website is that people who want to do videos and stuff like that on that, put a link to the place that you can go and sign up for the pre-alpha and check out more details of the game. So that will be below. But this is a game, as they called Rend, by Frostkeep Studios. So if you Google that, you'll certainly find it. Now, Frostkeep Studios is a fairly new outfit, but it's got some pretty heavy hitters who have worked on the likes of ARK, World of Warcraft, and I think even League of Legends. And you can certainly see some of the inspirations in this game. So this is kind of an open world survival game. If you were to think about ARK mixed with World of Warcraft, this is probably the game that you would end up. But it has some very interesting little features in this. Now, this is like my second evening. If I open up here, you can see I am currently a level 6. And leveling is quite important in this game. Because it unlocks the ability to do lots of things, but also it determines your kind of position in the faction. So if I go up here, I might be able to get a view of our base. There it is. So I am in the Revenant faction. There is the Conclave and Order. Apologies if I make any mistakes with these words, but you know, my brain's like. Yeah, and I'm in the Revenant, which is the purple faction, and that over there, you can see in the middle, is our divinity tree, or divinatory tree, or whatever you want to call it. And basically, we have to defend that against the various NPCs, AIs, monsters, and things like that are in here, as well as against the other factions who are in their own little world. Just seeing if there is one. There are portals basically in this world which take us to the other faction players' areas. So it's kind of nice. It's got a focus on sort of PvE, but with a PvP kind of system. So first thing to point out, I'd say, is being a very early access testing game, you know, you should, if you want to get involved in this, expect there to be bugs, expect there to be balance issues, expect there to be lots and lots of problems. If you're not expecting that, or if you can't handle that, then I would very much recommend you wait a little bit longer, because, as I say, this is not the game as it's going to be when it's finished, and if that's what you're looking for, then now is not the time for you to jump in. An example of that is, with the sort of main crux of the game, is something called the Reckoning, which happens about, well, twice a week on the server that I'm on right now. And basically what that means is you can see around the base there is these purple, like, beams, which are actually a force field, which keep the various enemies and other factions out of the base. There is a base there, it's just not spawning in at the moment. And once or twice a week, depending on the server settings, that force field will drop. And that will coincide with a major attack by a load of demons. And if I have managed through the magic of editing to do so, you should now be watching. There you go, the walls have popped in. What happened last night at the Reckoning. It's fair to say we got a little bit levered. There was only 3 of us online, and we were a little bit overwhelmed by the number of attacks. And as you can see, the base is looking a little bit sorry for itself. It was fully enclosed, and it was a lot nicer than this, but they literally tore through it in about 30 seconds. So yeah, not ideal. Obviously, we weren't quite prepared, and I don't know if that was a balancing issue. We kind of felt like that maybe all of the demons spawned at once instead of over the half an hour that they were supposed to, which is why we got completely levered. And then we got attacked by one of the other factions as well, which came in and finished us off. So, so all of this is actually player built. You can construct in all this, including the walls, the gates. You see the gates here. And all of these little workshop things, which I'll show you in a minute. Look at that. Look at that beautiful animation. Again, early access. Don't get upset if you're about it. So yeah, so you have these various workstations. So this is the generic blacksmith anvil. And in here I can make a plethora of things, including tools. Ooh, I can make metal pickaxes now. I must have leveled up to a point where I can do that. Crude metal crossbow. That sounds freaking awesome. There are lots and lots of different ones. There's the blacksmith table here, where you can make the more basic weapons and tools. These are, is it this? Yeah, this is the saw. So this is for actually constructing wooden boards, which you use for a lot of the construction stuff. This here, I'll show that in a minute, actually. That's quite important, so I thought it's under the player there. Construction table, I believe this is where you can build foundations and walls and things like that, and it snaps together similar to how it does in ARK and other games of this sort of genre. Are these both building? Okay, this is for making stone structures and things like that. So typical thing: large stone ground gate frame, large iron ground gate, requiring lots of materials that I have none of at the moment. These fires keep making weird noises. It's scaring me. This is the mystical table because there was a heavy sort of fantasy element into this game, and you can make. Although these seem to be running out, you can make various sort of potions and lotions and all kinds of concoctions for doing both harm to your enemies and good to yourself. We got anything in here? It feels like I feel like after we got levered last night, the entire faction has just given up, kind of thing. Again, more toolage. What is this? Tinkering table. Yeah, this is kind of making a basic thing. You can also personally craft some of the more basic items, arrows, basic tools, and some of these kind of these tables and things like that you need to get going. So that's about it. I mean, I'd say there are plenty of these little machines and things like that to make. This one though is the warehouse. Now this is quite interesting because I both have a personal storage here, which I have nothing. Now if I put something in here. I need to drink this. If I put something in here, only I can access it. Only I can see it. So that's where you can keep your own private stuff away from the rest of the faction. In here is the warehouse, which I'm going to guess is empty because our warehouse got destroyed yesterday. Oh, there is some in here. Basically, if I deposit stuff in here, I get reputation, and the more reputation you have in the faction, the more things you can do within the faction, including building and crafting and research, things like that. If you're a high enough level, you can also take stuff out of this. So this is a kind of a way for you to contribute into the greater good, so that when the higher level players on the faction are on and they can do all the building and stuff, they can withdraw materials from here. So that's quite a nice little mechanic to get you to work together. This is kind of where the League of Legends side of it comes. You can see this actually has health. So the aim of the other factions is to destroy this, and for us to go and destroy the other factions once of that. In order to wipe them off the world and generally be dicks, which is, kind of open world survival game bread and butter, is being dicks to each other. We did have lots and lots of weaponry in here. We've got lots of stone all of a sudden. Someone's been out collecting cobblestone, boulders even. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to head out into the wilderness because I currently have this, which is a stone dart repeater, which I made by mistake, because I actually wanted the crossbow repeater. Now, I have everything on me that I need to make that. All I need is some leather strips. So we're going to head out and see if we can't kill a couple of pigs or something and get some leather strips. Everything in this game, like it does in ARK, allows you to level up. So harvesting, killing, mining, cutting down trees, all of that stuff gives you extra XP and experience in certain areas. So if I go and hit this tree, not only will I get wooden sticks, but you'll see in the top left hand corner my lumber level is actually going up. So it makes me more proficient at gathering materials. And when you get to certain levels as well, you can unlock certain new technologies, such as, higher tier, go from like wood to stone to iron to copper and brass or whatever it is. So definitely worth getting out here. And I say it's one of them games that one of the things they made a big point of in the blurb is all about, rewarding you for playing how you want to play. So it's not like other games where it's like, well, if you're not out there PvPing and killing someone, you're a waste of space kind of thing. You can very much be a gatherer, a builder, an assassin, that kind of thing. And I'll show you some of the skill level things in a minute. You can be those kind of things and still make a very active contribution to your faction, as well as really sort of leveling up your character and things like that. So it's kind of nice that you can do as you please. This on the ground here is flint, which is quite important. It's what you use for making various upgraded arrowheads and things like that. I don't have many bolts for this thing right now, I don't believe. Stone darts. I actually have 56 stone darts. That's pretty reasonable. And this thing has 8 shots. So we're going to see if we can murderize this piggy. It's got 8 shots in it. It's kind of a hit scan type method of aiming, so I don't actually have to lead or anything like that. I can just point at it and shoot it. Yay! And as you can see, I got a bit of extra resource there. Just like ARK, I can smack at this body and get various. Oh, actually, what am I doing? I can get various components of it, but and if I use a pickaxe, I get more meat, and if I use the hatchet, I think I get more hide, and that's exactly what I need for my crossbow is leather scrap. So that is very nice. Is that enough? Was that enough? Unfortunately, they've put the inventory on I, which, as I've stated many times in my videos, means that the developers should be taken out into the streets and shot, because the correct button for inventory is tab. They clearly weren't aware of that. Makes me doubt their credibility. But yeah, and you can change it, to be fair, but last time I tried to change it, it crashed the game, so... But, you know, like I say, as I started off by saying, this is early access, and it actually works beautifully well. I'd say I'm also playing on an American server right now, so... because I have some friends in America who were playing on this last night, and I was playing with them, so I wanted to show you off my high-level character. And it worked really well. I had very, very little issues with lag or anything like that. And, yeah, it's very nice. And, like I say, I don't care if there's issues in this. This is in early access. Oh, not even in early access. It's in alpha testing. Did you just die? You did die. Nice. You know, so it is going to have bugs. So we're not going to be looking at bugs. We're just going to be looking at the potential of this game. Right, let's grab the rest of this, and then we can head back. We are very low on food and water. I should attempt to deal with that. There's some interesting mechanics. Food and water, kind of like it does in ARK, particularly in the early parts of the game. Food and water is a big problem. If you sprint around like I have been doing, you run through your water very quickly. And there are currently no mechanics to get water like in your base. There's no devices or anything like that you can make that will actually produce water in your base. There is a rain catcher, but unfortunately there's no rain in the game yet, so that doesn't work. And that's kind of a deliberate thing in a way. You can make the leaky water bag, which I've got in my inventory, but what it means is that at times when you sort of become under siege in your castle, you have to push out eventually and get food and water. You can't just stay forever camping in your castle. And this is our closest water source here. It's not far, as you can see. It's easy to come to, but if, like, you know, if this area is covered with enemy factions and demons and things like that, it could be quite problematic. Right, so now that got me my water. Did it fill my water bag? Right, let's head home. I'm going to cook up some meats. And by that, I mean I'm probably going to die because I might not have anything to eat. I could eat rancid meat, but something tells me that's not going to go well for me. What I should probably do is quit my... my heart. I'm having palpitations. I'm that hungry. Yeah, I should probably try and grab some berries if I can. Ooh, go away, piggy. I have all this meat, but I say until I cook it, I obviously can't eat it. Well, I could, but it's probably not going to help me too much. Ah, berry bushes. Precious berry bushes. Get there before I die. It's also worth looking at this giant freaking tree up here, which is amazing. And that broke. Just eat what I've got. Eat it all. Okay, we just staved off starvation for a moment. Hopefully enough time for me to get home and cook some of my meat. Yeah, that giant tree basically. I don't know if that's like up there. You can see there's like another planet. I don't know if that's like meant to be represent the other factions. But that tree, you can see there's like a bar on it, and you can actually fill that up. But I have a feeling from speaking to other people that it is insanely difficult to fill that bar at this stage, unless you have quite a large faction. I think it's fair to say this game is geared up for people with large factions. So if there's only 2 or 3 of you on, it could be quite difficult, and you're certainly going to be at the whim of other factions out there. Right, there we go. We've only got 2 of these. I could have done with more than that, really. Cooks. 6 meats. Nice. Yeah, let that cook for a moment. It really is quite impressive. Although, when it's night time, this tree glows like a bitch, but it doesn't illuminate the ground, which kind of annoys me. Because it feels sometimes like it's perpetually dark in this game. But it's very beautiful. I mean, you must say, it is a very pretty looking game to say it is that early in its development. You know, and you've got to assume that it's going to pretty up a little bit over time. Right, we've got some meats ready. Nope. Right click to cancel. I don't want to cancel, I want to eat. Feed me. Yeah, the way you fill that bar actually is quite interesting. There are, at night time, these little soul things come out. They kind of look like glowing earthworms that fly through the air. And with certain tools, you can actually collect them, and you can either use them for research or you can use them for filling up that tree. And I think if you fill up that tree, you get some kind of benefit when it comes to the reckoning. But we haven't got that far yet because, as I say, I've literally had this for a few hours at this stage. Oop, I can see the inside of my face. My God, is that what a beard looks like on the inside? That is weird. That is very weird. Fortunately, you can't see my amazing hair. I have an absolutely incredible mustache. Fortunately, you can't see it. Anyway, so yeah, so that's basically about it. I'd say the further out you go into the world, the more deadly the enemies get. There are spiders, there are wolves, there are giant stags, there are even sort of raptor-looking creatures. And killing them all... Ooh, hello, this is kind of like a soul thing, but this is a dragonfly. Yeah, by killing them, you get XP and resources and all that kind of thing. So it's your standard open world survival fare. But I think this has got some really interesting ideas, and if it becomes popular, I think it could go a long way, because it just, unlike games like ARK and Rust and things like that, this has some very specific kind of objectives and end game sort of items, you know, things that will happen that can literally end the server and it has to restart kind of thing, because you can literally wipe all the other factions out, or you could be wiped out. And I just think that's kind of nice, because the problem with Rust, as fun as it is you get to a point where it's sort of like, I have nothing left to do other than go out there and annoy and murder people. And that's kind of where you get a lot of the hatred and misery from Rust, I think. I think you can just see through there as well. I don't know how well that'll come out, but that's one of the portals to go to the enemy faction. I think that's to the green one by the looks of it. But we're not going to do that today, because every other faction on the server right now seems to have much, much higher level players. And I appear to be on my own. Yeah, no one else is on today. Right, so we've got one more thing to do. I just want to make up the crossbow. I think he's in here. What do I need? I had everything. Fiber twine. Why do I not have fiber twine? I have thick fiber twine. Do I not need thick fiber twine? Oh, I do, but I need fiber twine as well. That's fine, because I have an absolute ton of fiber. So if I knock up some fiber twine, we don't need many of those, I think. That should do. And yeah, crossbow. I'd like the bow actually, but let's make one of these. What was it? 4 strips. That wasn't too bad. We could make a little bit more thick fiber. I'm starving again. My meat ready. Go and harvest my meat. I don't know why this is not working. Right click to cancel. I don't want to cancel. I want to cook it. Okay, well all my meat went and I'm about to die, but that's fine because we're almost done anyway. Let me put on my crossbow. I like the way they've got these kind of like auto crossbows, assuming this is a good crossbow. Yeah, so I can actually, it fires like double shots, and it's got a magazine of 6, which is nice. Nice, makes killing a lot easier. So yeah, guys, that is Rend. As I say, just a little short update, short first impression video. Please let me know what you think of this game. Obviously, there is a ton more to see, including some multiplayer action. So if you are interested in seeing more of this game and you would like to see me do some more on the channel, then please, as always, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know anything that's interesting in this game that you know and you might like me to go check out. But now, before I die of starvation and thirst, what a fitting end, I'm going to wrap the video up there. So I want to thank you all for watching. I've been Timmy. This has been Rend by Frostkeep Studios. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope very much you'll check back for the next one.